لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا رحمة للعالمين أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل
على محمد وآل محمد.
أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praise and glory belongs to Allah, the Creator, the Sustainer, the Provider of not just one universe but many. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has creations that you and I cannot see. He's created worlds that we cannot see through these eyes. And in today's world that we live in, with all of the research being done, they've gotten to a point where they're almost certain that there are parallel universes. I mean, there's not one verse but multiverses. And these multiverses, they exist parallel to each other. Can you recite aloud salawat? So, if you understand that Islam has been saying that there are more than one universe, 1400 years ago, the revelations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which the Muslims have been reciting for the last 1400 years, and the prayers as well that we have, they all indicate the same fact. I mean, we recite Surah Al-Hamd where we say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and we have been translating this as well, that all praise belongs to the Provider or the Sustainer or the Lord of the worlds. It's not one world but worlds. It's not one universe but multiverses. Alam is a universe. Alameen is the plural. So it'll be more than, when you have something which is more than two, then in Arabic you have plural. So when you have Alameen, so there is at least more than two. And then you have the Holy Prophet as Rahmatul lil Alameen. He is mercy for all of worlds. Okay. Mathematically, when you look at it, I don't think we are mathematicians, but so maybe the M theory or the string theory maybe is not the place for us to discuss, but maybe as laymen we should still be able to understand something, since we are the ones who've been saying that there are multiverses for the last 1400 years. And as a theoretical physicist or quantum physicist or all of these people, they just started saying that in the 70s. After the theory of relativity of Einstein, a lot of things opened up. But we've been saying that for the last 1400 years. For us, since we knew about them 1400 years ago, we should be a lot more advanced and more knowledgeable and ahead than the rest of people who denied it, who actually said to one point that the earth is flat. And it wasn't very long ago that human beings realized that the earth is not flat. We have the miracles or the spiritual powers of Imam Masumin that tells us that they were able to manipulate space-time. They were able to teleport themselves from one place to the other. We have the Holy Prophet showing many different things about the parallel universes that exist. But we're still stuck in what niyaz we have to give. Yeah, especially this. Whether our niyaz is going to be like packaged or is going to be open. We're going to feed them here, we're going to package it. No. Which center did what? They wanted to bring this Maulana or not that Maulana. They wanted to read that mankabat or not that mankabat. We're still to the point where we're telling people to get out of kindergarten. No. We're still telling our sisters to do hijab, to wear the Islamic dress, which is the minimum requirement as a Muslim woman. I've been saying it for the last over 20 years. And then those excuses of why is it there, how is it there, and all of that. Okay, we explained to you, you come and sit down with me, give me 6 hours to 8 hours. I'll sit down and I explain it to you. No, I don't have time. Okay, you don't have time, you don't have 6 to 8 hours. Okay, do your own research. Don't have to ask Maulana, just do your own research. Oh, I don't have time. We're still stuck in kindergarten. We're still, as Muslims, we still have not been able to get out 17 minutes of our time during the day for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how are we going to talk about parallel universes and multiverses, and how the Imam Masumin used to teleport themselves from one place to the other, bend space-time? But all of this was already projected to us, told to us. All of the miracles that Imam Ali ﷺ used to perform, it was told to us, and when it was told to us and we did not realize what is the potential of a human being, how it can be utilized, developed, and which heights we can go to, and how are the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what are His rules and regulations by which He has created not just one universe but multiverses. When all of these secrets, there were the secrets of Imam Masumin alayhi salam, not for the general public. When all of these fazail started to come about between general public that was still stuck in kindergarten, but the topics were of parallel universes and teleportation and time travel and going from one planet to the other planet or going through interdimensions. What did the laymen, the people stuck in kindergarten do? They start saying Imam Ali must be God. And if they did not say it, even just right now we had a person recite a poetry. The first verse was, there are some people who call Imam Ali as God. But we consider that to be of not a very good emotions. Until today, a lot of the narrators don't know what they are saying either. They don't understand what is being said, and neither are the listeners understanding what is being said. When we say that in our poetry all the time, we exaggerate the personality of Imam Ali alayhi salam to the point that he is God. Today is the best time to understand the qualities and the miracles of Imam Ali, because now you're still stuck in kindergarten, but the ones who are not stuck in kindergarten, in realizing the beauty, the power, the knowledge, the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who have gone ahead of us. But they are also in loss because they've gone that ahead, coming up to these massive, amazing theories, doing amazing research, but getting to the point of what? Saying there is no God. I mean, you're discussing about, parallel universes, and you're looking at not just one universe, but many, and you see that in each universe, everything is so precise that if one little thing goes offline, everything collapses. And this is out of chaos, or this is out of nothingness, or this is just a coincidence. If gravity was to shift 4%, and nothing in this world, our solar system, would exist. The gravity has to have a specific amount of weight that it has to project on you for you to stay grounded on this earth, and for everything else. And if a little bit of change happens, everything starts floating up in the space. And where is this pull being maintained? Is the black hole that's in the end of our galaxy. It's just out of coincidence. It's just like random. So when we are up to this point, what I would like for us to do is get out of the kindergarten. Let's move up into other grades. And there are many mysteries of the universe that are amazingly described to us by Imam Masumin alayhi salam, that we can actually learn from, and maybe get more convinced to the fact that we are going to get rid of this world and go into another world, which is another universe, and then another universe, and another universe. And I'll tell you some of the traditions, and then maybe we'll move forward. A person comes to the Holy Prophet as Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Holy Prophet offered him some food or water, and then the person said, Ya Rasulullah, I'm fasting, so I can't. The Prophet offered again, have some food, have some water. And the person said, I'm fasting. Now the third time when the Prophet offered and the guy said that I'm fasting, a small piece of meat that was bloodied fell off from his teeth into his lap. And as soon as it fell in his lap, he realized, he was really surprised. He hadn't eaten anything. And the Prophet asked him, he said, before coming to me, did you do backbiting? यहाँ पे मेरे आने से पहले तुमने ग़ीबत की थी? Person says yes. In the parallel universe to ours, the shape and form of ghībat is what is described by the Prophet as a person eating the dead flesh of that person that they're doing ghībat of. With me? In that parallel universe, like let's say you are talking about Zaid. So Zaid is lying down, and let's say Muhammad, Fatima, Zainab, Qadim, have such beautiful names, but our actions, they are sitting in front of that dead body of Zaid, and like zombies do, they're eating that flesh. And in this universe, we can't see it. In this universe, what we see is, or what we hear, are just sound waves that go to our ear and call the name Zaid and this and that. The Prophet for a moment opened that person's eyes to that parallel universe that existed, where he had done ghibat, and the Prophet opened his eyes so he can see the bloodied piece of meat coming out of his mouth. Where he thought that he was fasting. And the Prophet knew that he's not fasting because he's got blood coming out of his teeth and meat falling off of his teeth. And he offered him food, he offered him water. And he said, I'm fasting. And when the Prophet opened his eyes to that universe, that verse, the person realized that he was actually not with a fast because a piece of meat fell out of his teeth. And that is exactly what is happening when you sin, when I sin. That in that parallel universe that exists, the shape and form of sins, when a person eats the wealth of orphans, what is it described in the Quran as? Fire. If you could see in that universe, that multiverse, that verse that is parallel to ours, when somebody is taking the wealth of an orphan, what you will see is them eating fire. What is music like in the other verse? You know, when the Prophet went to Mi'raj, he saw the actual reality of that. Music in the parallel universe, you know how you put the headphones on? Yeah? You put the headphones on. Basically, it's like, this is what the Prophet saw in Mi'raj, is the people had iron rods that were, made into like a red hot, molded, melting like iron. You might see them when people make steel. They were being put into the ears. That's the actual reality that is happening parallel to when a person is listening to music. The Prophet in Mi'raj, he saw these angels, they're constructing and then sitting down, constructing and sitting down. They're planting trees, they're making houses. They do and they sit down, they do and they sit down. The Prophet said, what are you doing? Why don't you work consistently? Like, why don't you just go put in 8 to 10 hours, right? They were just, 2 minutes they'll work and they'll sit down. 2 minutes they'll work and they'll sit down. So the angel said that every time we start working is when somebody in the other verse, meaning on the earth, starts saying Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. As soon as somebody says that, what do? We start planting trees and making the houses for the person. And as soon as the person stops saying that, we also stop constructing and planting the trees. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Right? Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. What did you hear me say? Just Subhanallah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar, right? But what happens in the other verse? I had how many trees and how many houses being built? You didn't count, 3 so far. Thank you. In the other verse, a salawat is like a flower that you give to the Holy Prophet and his family. So we have many traditions that actually tell us about what happens in the other verses. Another verse is the grave. Another verse is barzakh. Another verse is the day of judgment. Another verse is pul sirat. And then there is another verse called heaven and hell. And throughout this world, you have a multiverses that exist parallel to each other. Is that too difficult? No? It's okay? And this Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, whose the days of martyrdom are also coming, right? And I don't know, our majlis have become more of a tradition than it is mourning. When I don't know if you've ever seen people get orphaned. When someone's father or mother passes, this person doesn't need somebody to sit down and start telling them about her father, about his mother. They'll just sit down in a corner, start thinking, my dad used to come home, do this for me. He used to hold me. He used to put his hand on my head. He loved me so much. When people mourn, they don't need anybody to tell them how great or how loving their parents are. Their hearts are broken. They understood the worth of their parents and now they have regret that they're gone. If really you've realized the worth of Imam Ali in your life, that if you were to take Imam Ali out of your life, what you would have? If you were to take the name of Ali out of your life, what would remain? If you were to take the name Ali out of your children, what it would remain? How is it that in your life, this word Ali has given you light, has given you life, has given you things that you've been wanted and you've asked for and it has been given? When you start thinking about that if I was to take Ali out of my life, what I will remain, what I will have, is enough for a person to start crying. It's enough for the heart to melt. And if you do not see any benefit of that master of yours and I in your life, and if you were to take him out and nothing happens, then all of this love is fake. It's just a tradition. When we mourn Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, we're mourning loss. We're trying to understand the condition of Imam Hasan and Hussein at that time. We're trying to understand how did these orphans, how did they react? And how great was their loss? I haven't lost my father yet, but I know the time will come when I will lose him. But 1 million of them or 1 trillion of my fathers we sacrificed on how Imam Ali was a father. Such a father that you cannot find in this whole universe or anywhere. Who was kind to his children as it is the kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because he was the projection of the qualities of Allah. He loved everything that he had, all of the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through his love of Allah. How much love that would be. How much kindness that would be. How much strength it would be. And soon, uh, you know, Imam Hasan is going to lose that. When he ran to the mosque and he saw his father's head bloodied, and he was trying to hold him. Imam Hasan's tears were so many, that they were falling on the cheeks of Imam Ali. And Imam Ali would say, like, Hasan, why are you crying? I can see the Prophet, I can see the angels, I can see your mother. If you really want to mourn your master, look at your heart. If it's not moving, you don't need anybody to tell you for your heart to move. If you cannot bear the pain to see of your own father, if you have any emotions that are there of any of the roles that Imam Ali played, you don't need anybody to tell you. Mourning is a state of heart. We need to develop that. We need to just make a place in our heart where there is the zari of Imam Ali. Not all of us can go to Najaf or, but in your heart you can make a place where it's just the zari of Imam Ali, that any time you want you can go do ziyarat. Have in your imagination, if you've gone there, to have that zari in your imagination, where anytime you want to go, you can go there. And whether your heart breaks, it breaks a little bit or breaks more, or tears come out of your eyes, it's okay, whatever it is. No matter if we cry all of our lives till the end of eternity, it will not be enough for the hardship that Imam Ali ﷺ went through. So inshallah, as the days go by, we'll narrate you some history as well. But when you're mourning Imam Ali, realize what loss would you have if you were to have no Ali. Think about it. And if in your lives you see no loss and your day to day is the same, then it's just a fake love, and it's just a bai, it's the religion of our forefathers that you and I are following. But if you can see loss in your heart by taking Imam Ali ﷺ out, then yes, then your heart is true, connected to him, and you've realized his worth. If not, it's just. So inshallah ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us with a true heart that can connect with Imam Ali ﷺ and Imam Masumeen. We will start seeing the worth of theirs in our lives. We will be blessed on the nights that are starting. Just one or two words, and then I think the brothers want to do matam. To get benefit from Laylatul Qadr, you have to be alive. If you're dead, you cannot take benefit from Laylatul Qadr. And tomorrow, inshallah, we'll describe to you what life and death is. If a person is dead, then this night is Laylatul Qabr. It's not Laylatul Qadr. These nights are for the ones who are alive, not the ones who are dead. Inshallah, tomorrow, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses, we will explain what life and death is. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal-Asr, inna al-insana lafi khusr, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu s-salihati wa tawassaw bil-haqq.